Hello everybody and welcome to the playthrough for hole number 1 to hole number 3 of the TPC Sawgrass in the spooky Showdown 18-hole cup. This is a playthrough where you will see me play with general wins. These are not the wins that you will have in the tournament. If you do want to have guides and information about the wins that we do have in the tournament and how to play them, then you sign up scanning the QR code or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy. There you do have the ultimate tournament text guide, so once you do sign up you will get access immediately. So let's go to hole number 1 to hole number 3. For hole number 1, we are going to here play with some headwind. So I'm starting with a basic ball and the rock to find max rest. Then I'm swapping to a poke and to my thorn bag. What I'm doing here now is that I'm setting 6 topspin and I'm setting 2 right spin. My intention here is to get this ball to be as close to the rough line possible at the top without risking rolling into the rough. Sure, you can push this one being a bit more aggressive trying to get to the top right of the fairway, but I would say that it's most applicable when it comes to having crosswind or having a tailwind. By playing a shot like this, we are allowing ourselves to hit great on either side, and it's in general just a risk-free type of shot. So we do get the ball up there to the fairway, and now we're going to prepare for our second shot, which is going to be played with our thorn. So we're going to jump in right here to have a look at the thorn. And you see here, and now that we are playing with the falcon, not the thorns, I have to be accurate with the club selection as well. But in the end, it doesn't really matter what club you're playing with here, besides obviously picking the short iron that you feel the most comfortable with. So either falcon or thorn from my end. I usually choose the thorn when not having to, when Falcon would force me to pull more than 10 rings. But in this instance, we can play with a Falcon 2 because the adjustment will not be that high, and I'm using 10% elevation here. You could see that I'm looking to have my first bounce to land on the fringe/green. The reason I want that to happen, it's because I do feel that the fairway before the green is a little bit bumpy. So in the end, with a more conservative play, we are getting ourselves the eagle on hole number 1. But again, I want to make it perfectly clear that if the wind is more favorable, you can push this can push the drive much further up to the top right, and then you will have a wedge, or could possibly even reach the green if the wind is a very nice tailwind. For hole number 2, we are already getting our first par 5. And here I'm starting with a luminary ball, a P10 ball with wind 6 in NMT. NMT means no move target, so I'm not going to touch the target until it's time to adjust the rings, using all the topspin and 1 left spin. My intention is to reach as far down the fairway possible without putting myself in the risk of going into the rough, sand, or for that matter, water. What you need to have in mind with this particular hole is that if you are using the more right side of this fairway, be careful with using too much curl, because the trees are most definitely in play, and I have no doubt that I will unfortunately see some people being a little bit too aggressive with curl and clip the tree with their first bounce. And that's, I would say that's probably somewhat game over of getting yourself the eagle. Obviously it's a game over of getting the albatross. If we can get the ball down there like that, then we will be playing a short iron towards the pin. Pick the short iron that you prefer the most to play with. For me, it's either falcon or it's the thorn. I would personally argue here that the thorn would probably be a little bit better, because it will most likely be a little bit more rings, not most likely, it will be more rings with the falcon, and if you are a little bit unlucky, it might actually be too many rings you have to pull twice. So to safeguard from that, then using the thorn would be better. No elevation, judging the club distance, and as always when it comes to a tournament perspective, it is something that you need to take into consideration, that we are going to tweak to get adjustment that you would so like. I like to look for flatter bounce, and I like the fairway before the green. I also like the green fringe for my first bounce, and the albatross is most definitely in play. What do you do if you do have a headwind, or if you do have a crosswind off tee? No, then we can't really reach up to short iron. Then we're most likely going to have to settle for a long iron or for a wood club. It depends on, but there are a very nice way of bouncing up using the fairway. You have loads of room, and it's definitely something to look into if you do find yourself with a poor wind on hole number 2. Hole number 3 is also our first par 3. This one is a bit finicky, I'm not going to lie. There are rough bumps that you can go for. I'm going for one particular rough bump, which is to use the rough that is the closest towards the pin. There is value of doing so because you obviously are limiting yourself for how much the ball will roll or bounce up towards the pin. You can also use a rough patch by that is above the bottom bunker. That one is also a very interesting spot. But those two spots, what do they have in mind? Is that it gives you very little room for error. So if you do not fancy that type of play, you can use a backspin boost ball to go directly up onto the green and attack the pin from there. Or you in that case can just use a regular club like the sniper, or even using the Guardian or something like that, and bounce on the fairway before the green and bouncing up towards the pin. However, doing what I said last is going to basically be purely just a birdie play. If you are going to look for hole in one here and a way for you to get an advantage over your opponents, then most likely it's going to be have to pushing for any sort of rough bump to get there. Thank you everybody for watching this part of my hole breakdowns for the TPC Sawgrass in the spooky Showdown 18 hole cups. Make sure to check out the other parts as well. These are general hole guides. These are not the wins that you have in the tournament. If you're looking for guides and information when it comes to the wins that we do have in the tournament, in the qualifying round, and then also in the final round, you sign up on patreon.com/golfclashtommy via the QR code or via the link in the description down below. You can do that via 30-day commitment, which is the cheaper alternative, and then you do have a one-time payment you can do as well. So it doesn't matter how you want to go about it, you can sign up via that. And there we do provide the ultimate tournament text guides, best guides on the market, giving you our best advice with text guides and with videos with voiceover on how to attack the specific holes with the tournament wins in Master Division. Thank you once again for watching, and I wish you the best of luck in the spooky Showdown 18 hole cup.